Today's episode is brought to you by the Vegas Beer Guys.
I like to think I know something about beer, but nowadays even I get overwhelmed when confronted by the exhaustive selection of craft beers they have at bars, breweries, and even grocery stores. Back in the day you had one, maybe two craft beers to choose from, and if you were confused, you ordered a Guinness. But in beerstinations like San Diego, the craft beer options lately are in double, sometimes even triple digits. So what's a beer drinker to do? You need what I need, the Vegas Beer Guys. Your beer of choice should be a perfect blend of malt and hops. And so a live show about beer needs that same balance. And the Vegas Beer Guys matches beer expert Dan Aker with self-proclaimed beer novice Stephen J. Weiss. The results are eminently drinkable. They're on Facebook, they're on Instagram. They'll try new beers, they'll tell you about beers, they'll tell you which beers you should steer clear of. Think of them as your beer Sherpas guiding you up a foamy-headed mountain to reach the peak of your pint. God, I need a beer.
The Everything Sequel podcast contains explicit language. 'Cause we learned it from you, Dad. One last yippee-ki-yay, motherfuckers. This is the Everything Sequel podcast. We're doing the Die Hard edition. My name is Michael Shantz. I'm of the How Dare You Awards. With me is Tom Stewart of Lonesome Whistle Productions. This is a Minisode, everyone. Our first Minisode coming at the end of a series. This is our Minisode for Pitch a Sequel. Tom and I are going to be pitching our sequels. Tom, first of all.
Yeah.
Our first Minisode was our ranking of these movies. I changed horses midstream. I couldn't help myself. I first went 4, 3, 2, 5. I had a change of heart. I got to go 4, 2, 3, 5.
Oh, okay. Wow.
You are 2, 4, 3, 5.
You're going 2, 4, 3,
right?
5.
Yeah, 2, 4, 3, 5. So
which is what I have. So we're
no, I'm going 4, 2.
Oh, you're going 4, 2. Okay.
Yeah, I'm 4, 2, 3, 5. I couldn't, with a clear conscience, list 3 above 2 when I only really love the first half of that movie. But now we are at the tail end of an episode, my friend. So we already have made history. I've changed horses. I've changed my ranking on these movies, and now it's time to pitch a sequel. I'm really excited to see what we come up with. How about you?
Very, very excited. I think you know what I've been trying to come up with the metaphor for how hard it is to rank these movies.
Right.
And it's like, to me, it's like deciding between The Wire Season 3 and The Wire Season 4. Like, I could literally go back and forth about how good and best these are all day long. And I can do the same with these movies.
I hear you.
2 to 4. I could do the same with 2 to 4.
Well, 5, we'll just shunt that to the side. That's going to be last always. But like we've said, 2, 3, and 4, I mean, it's razor thin. And on any given day, well, I don't know that I would ever put 3 to the front, but,
You conceivably could.
Yeah, but
if one of us is being really ballsy and saying the second half of this movie doesn't matter.
Right.
You could say, like, I mean, there's bits of Citizen Kane that aren't good.
You got a snort out of me. I like that so much. Holy shit. That was fantastic. There's bits of Citizen Kane that aren't good. Oh, my goodness gracious. So, all right, Tom, we're talking about creating a 6th Die Hard. How do you do it right? Where do you go? Who's going first? You want me to go, or would you like to go?
I'll go. Oh well,
right.
You know what? I've gone. Since we're making history, let's have you go first.
All right. I will go first. So, Oh my gosh. I just realized I haven't come up with a title, Tom.
Well, this is the most developed pitch I've heard from you. So I think we'll work out a title afterwards because people are going to be impressed regardless.
All right. No title. Die Hard 6.0 for now.
Okay.
So, this story takes place reverting back to the original Die Hard. We're going back, Tom, say it with me, Nakatomi Towers.
Plaza.
Get it right. Not Nagasaki.
I apologize
Nakatomi.
to the millions who died and were brutally injured in the Nagasaki attack.
You monstrous British asshole. So, we're back at Nakatomi Towers. Why are we there? We are there for a retrospective basically about John McClane's life. I kind of had this idea, Tom, that he would be being interviewed by Oprah Winfrey.
Right.
They are on I want to say the 30... What floor are they on in the original?
Doesn't matter. We don't talk about the original.
All right. So they're on the same floor. They have set it up so that he can be interviewed and basically, like, full on bring the band back. Everybody's there that has ever been involved in John McClane's life to talk about the remarkable events that has happened to him in his life. His children are there. His wife's there. Matt Flynn is there. We got Zeus there. I mean, bring in Carmine as far as I'm concerned. Like, bring anybody back that can and will come back to talk about the extraordinary things that has happened to him. So he's in the Nakatomi Towers. And as of right now, Tom, I don't know if I told you this part. Of course, chaos is going to ensue. Of course, John McClane is going to get loose in the building. Mm-hmm. As of right now, I would love it if Charlize Theron is cast in this movie as the daughter of Carl.
Ah, okay.
She is our bad guy, so you bring back, even though these are tropes, you bring back the relative. You've got the daughter of a man who was killed.
I'd like to see that done right.
Yeah, right? You got to bring back Sergeant Al Powell.
Yeah.
You got to have Reginald Vell Johnson. I want him there.
Still on the phone or in person?
No, in person.
Okay, good.
Now he's in
live
the building.
by satellite. It's Al Powell.
Just so he could be outside. So my idea was, like, you have to justify this, right? So how do you justify? Like, I was thinking you could make Charlize Theron, the character, Carl's daughter. Maybe she's the producer of this Oprah show that's being put together, so she's on site. And the first thing we see, Oprah dead. We shoot Oprah.
That's great. I love it.
How terrible is that?
Not because I want to see her dead, don't get me wrong, but just as a kind of bold... It's a Jaws the Revenge type opening.
Yeah. Really, I mean, bold maneuver when you kill the actual Oprah.
Yes, it is.
God, I hope she agrees to consent to
Let
be
me just
in this
clarify
movie.
for anyone listening. You're talking about on film, right?
Of course I'm talking about
This is not a
on
snuff
film.
movie you're proposing here.
Good grief, sir. Bite your tongue. She's America's treasure.
She is.
And that's why it works. So, if you wait for the moment where... And it gives you this opportunity at the beginning of this movie to see sort of all the carnage that John McClane has had to witness in his life. And you have Oprah there talking about his battle with alcohol, his failure in his marriage. You have a real serious opportunity for John McClane and for Bruce Willis to do some serious work and to see sort of everything that's happened to him, the sum total of everything that's happened in his life. And he has to, like, leave the area. He goes to the restroom, and this is the moment that Charlize decides to bang, bang, shoot, shoot. He doesn't know what's going on. He escapes up the stairs. But all of that's by design because she needs time. Because, of course, she's got to break into a vault. There's got to be some jewels or something she wants. And she's got to wait for the FBI. And you basically have the same setup, except everybody that's there with McClane is valued, someone that they don't want to see die. Does someone else escape? You know, is somebody with him? Is somebody not with him? I mean, to me, it can go in so many fun directions. This is the only thing I would want to see in a last Die Hard sequel. I give it to you, sir. You tell me where I'm wrong. How would you want this series to wrap up?
Well, actually, not too dissimilarly. As you know, I'm a big proponent of the everything soup kind of sequel.
More than anything, you're just about putting numbers into letters for the titles.
Okay, that too. Well, this is actually a departure in terms of the title. The title of my sequel is Dying Hard or Hardly Dying. And what's happened is basically...
Is it like a Warner Brothers cartoon?
McClane, he wants to retire in a quiet place, free from any of the explosions and terrorist attacks that he would normally be subject to in his daily life. So John McClane Jr., through his contacts with the CIA and the Russian government, gets John a plot of land on the Diomedes, which are these two islands that border the US through Alaska and Russia. So he gets a plot of land there, and it's like it's sold to him as like, this is the quietest place on earth, the smallest town you'll ever live in. There's no possibility that anything can happen here, and you'll have a quiet retirement.
This is great.
So the first John McClane, he's walking out of his house for the first day, taking a walk around. Who's the first person he bumps into? Who do you think?
His wife.
No.
Damn it.
It's Al Powell.
Oh, fantastic.
So he's like, "Hey, you moved here?" And he's like, "Yeah, came up, for the ice fishing, got an inheritance."
Al moved to the island?
Yeah, he lives there.
That's
okay. So this is like a days of the week thing, which is another departure for the series. Instead of it all being on one day, it takes place over 1 week. That's by the by. We can work that out later.
All right.
He goes out Tuesday. He goes to the local internet cafe. Who's there?
Is it like The Shining? Like, are we gonna see Bung Monday?
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
It's Matt. Matt's at the internet cafe. It's like, you live here now? It's like, yeah, I invented this website and it turned me into a millionaire, so I came here. Okay. Wednesday. Goes out, he goes to the local locksmiths. Zeus is working there. After these three, now, John is used to coincidences in his life.
Uh-huh.
But after 3 in a row, day after day,
he's thinking bullshit.
What's going on here? Gets on the old blower to John McClane Jr. It's like, you told me this is going to be a quiet retirement. Why is everyone who I've been associated with thwarting a terrorist attack here on the same small town on the same small island with me? And John McClane's like, John Jr. is like, okay, I'm gonna tell you the truth. Basically, what happened was the warlock who took over following
Gabriel?
the events of Live Free or Die Hard, as the head of internet security, ran a bunch of after meeting John McClane, but ran a bunch of simulations and discovered that this quartet are the best placed people to defend America's border against a Russian attack. And guess what? That is exactly what's going to happen. So the warlock found various ways to get them to this island through, pretending that an internet app was that there was an inheritance, all that sort of stuff. Falsified a bunch of information so these guys could have the money, and then subtly they used subliminal advertising through the internet to get these guys in all the same place.
This is great.
America is about to be invaded, a land invasion by Russia. And
Bruce Willis, John McClane's going to put a stop to it
Al Powell,
with his pals.
Zeus, and Matt are the first line of defense.
Matt on the computer front, Al Powell on the Twinkie front.
Al Powell's on the phones. He's the one who's doing communications. He's monitoring the communications.
And Zeus just on the mean stare front.
Zeus is there in case the Russians try to attack with riddles. He's doing strategy. So yeah, that's it. And that is Dying Hard or Hardly Dying.
Dying Hard or Hardly Dying. I love it. I love it. But what do you think, listeners? Which movie would you like to see between Tom or I? Go ahead and vote. Let us know. Find us on Twitter. Find us on Instagram. Find us on Facebook. And you let us know which Die Hard sequel you would want to see. Or email us at everythingsequelpodcast@gmail.com. I think it's Everything Sequel Podcast. Maybe it's Everything Sequel @gmail.com. Try them both. I'll figure that out. And just let us know, and we might read yours on the air, all right? So find us out, or rather find us on our social media, and we're going to call out your fantastic proposals. Tom, anything else?
No, we all go a little mad sometimes.
Boy, do we. Fantastic work. Everybody, we're going to see you for our next time. When you hear us again, you're going to hear the announcement of our next movie. We'll see you next time. Not see you. You'll hear us next time. I don't know. Goodbye.